Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's dive into today's story with a classic tale of Karen chaos at the movie theater. A mix of entitlement, unnecessary drama, and a mic drop moment you'll love. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Karen at the movies. Went to the movies today, and there was a Karen at the front of the line. This woman was asking 6 billion questions about the loyalty program and taking forever to buy 3 tickets. She paid with a $100 bill right after they opened, so there wasn't enough change in the drawer. The manager brought more change out, and this woman wouldn't stop talking to them as they tried to count out the change. The employee shorted it $10, an honest mistake, but oh no, not for Karen. It was clearly a personal affront. She says way too loudly, "That's why you always count the change back, so this doesn't happen." The couple in front of us were able to go to a different cashier, so she looks back at us and apologized in a "isn't this cashier so dumb" kind of way. My husband shook his head and said, maybe if you had stopped asking all the questions and distracting them while they were counting, it never would have happened. Cue sucked lemon face. The poor cashier apologized to us, which we of course said it wasn't a problem, and I told them not to let the Karens get them down. The sweet smile of thanks made the wait worth it. If you happen to read this, Tobias, you handled that Karen with grace, and let's all hope her popcorn was burnt and there was too much ice in her soda. I'm sure your coworkers had your back. These people do this for 2 reasons. First, to let everyone know that their time is much more valuable than anyone else's. 2, they talk distractingly, hoping the cashier shorts themselves, not the Karen. And our second story. How a cup of dish soap turned into a bubble apocalypse. When I was a 19-year-old male, now 25-year-old male, in college, I had 3 assigned roommates. They didn't buy any of the necessities like food, toilet paper, cooking oil, cleaning supplies, paper towels, etc. I was buying pretty much everything, which I definitely couldn't afford, but I wanted to be nice. I said I was fine with them using my things as long as they replaced them. Whenever they used something up low, and behold, they never replaced it. I'd just find it missing. They'd start mentioning we were missing it and add we should get more, and I would say, then buy some. Then they'd change the subject. If they did buy something, they'd put it in their own room. I was being polite, but inside I was burning with a white-hot fury, infuriated beyond belief. So pretty much a classic story of college dudes. I'm sure there are plenty of people who can relate here. Anyway, fast forward to an early morning class. I'm getting ready to leave, and my roommate's putting dishes in the dishwasher before he goes to class. The previous night, I told him he needed to start doing dishes because he constantly cooked and never cleaned. I was really happy to see it was getting done. He was also getting ready for class. I was grabbing a bite to eat when he said, "We need more dishwasher pods." I said, "Buy them." He paused, then said dish soap would work, also mine. I told him not to and that it would shut up and just buy the damn pods. He said to believe him and it would work. He proceeded to fill the cap, started it, and went to shower for class. I proceeded to end the cycle and dump about a cup or more of dishwasher detergent in out of spite and then started again. I went to class munching on a bagel, excited for the text he might send. It felt good to think of what he'd find after the shower. Went to class, and 40 minutes later, yes, he showered for 40 minutes every day, I got a Snapchat of our apartment, and I swear to God, Reddit, there were suds everywhere. It was awesome. We could have hosted a bubble run or a nightclub with them bubbles in that apartment. Wish I still had the photo. It was insane. I didn't realize how many bubbles could be made from one dishwasher. I mean, I anticipated a lot, but it was way more. It was so much, it was up to his chest. He had to cancel going to class to clean it and then bought pods. I still laugh about his reaction. He said, "Holy crap, I really didn't think it would be that bad." I'd add in, "Yeah, man, I really thought that was gonna work. Would have been a great life hack to not buy pods." He apologized, started pitching in more with things. The end. Great one. Seems that he was drowning in his sorrows while trying to stay afloat amongst the suds, bubbles. Hope that other roommates had a few of their things a bit affected by the flood of bubbles too. And our next story. Free bus ride turns into free cop car ride. I live in a town with a major sports team. Every game day, they offer a free bus ride to or from the stadium, but it has to be a route that goes close or right by the stadium, and you have to show a valid ticket to the game. I was unfortunately working on a game day, and I wasn't able to make it to the game, but I got on the bus with everyone leaving the game, jam-packed. But at least we'd won, so everyone was happy. We get downtown to the main hub, and everyone gets off and goes to their cars or to other buses. I lived way west of the stadium, so not many people took my bus in general, but only one mother and son from the other bus was standing there with me. The bus pulled up, and I let the mother-son go first. They show their game day tickets and start to walk to the back. The bus driver, BD, stops them. BD, hey, just to let you know, those are only valid for the buses to or from the stadium. M, yeah, we're just coming from the game. BD, I know, and I'm going to let you on, but I just wanted to let you know for the future, someone might not let you on for free, just so you make sure you carry bus fare just in case. M, why? Your website said free bus rides on game days as long as you show this ticket. BD, yes, to and from the stadium, not around the whole city. M, well, the gentleman didn't say anything on the way down. BD, well, I guess he was just being nice, as am I. Again, I'm not kicking you off, I was just telling you for the future. M, well, why doesn't your website say that? BD, I'm not sure, I'm not in charge of the website. M, so you're not going to let me and my boy ride for free? BD, what? No, I said this time I will, but in the future they might not. M, wow, you are such a stuck-up B. And the mother spit at the bus driver. I don't think she got the driver, but she definitely got the control/money taker. BD, okay, that's it. Get off the bus, please. The mother turns to the whole bus. M, this driver won't let us ride for free, even though we have game day tickets. A gentleman already off the bus said he would pay for them as he was already running late, but the bus driver told him no, they're getting kicked off the bus and the police are being called, and unfortunately we were all witnesses to the assault. The woman refused to leave, and her son sat down in the first few chairs on the bus. The police arrived a few minutes later and had to drag her off of the bus. The cops interviewed us, but ultimately said they had enough camera evidence, all the buses have cameras on them now, to arrest her. They put her in cuffs, loaded her and her son into the car, and took her away. Not exactly sure what happened after that. I got the next bus I could and went home. Blown away. This person could have graciously accepted the free ride without making a fuss, but had to double down, argue with, and then insult the driver, and she had to do it in front of her kid. Poor child got to watch mom behave like a pork chop on public transport and then get cuffed and arrested. At any point, even after the police arrived, she could have sincerely apologized and probably walked away. But she had to keep inconveniencing everyone on the bus. And our last story. The day we took back our neighborhood. When we first moved into our neighborhood almost 20 years ago, my wife and I were juggling raising 2 little kids, then 2 and 4. On top of everything else, there was a homeowners association, HOA. We didn't give it much thought at first, figured it was just part of the deal. The HOA handled snow removal and trash collection, so at least they seemed useful. Turns out the snowplows and garbage trucks were city services all along. The HOA wasn't coordinating anything. They were just taking credit for services our taxes already covered. Still, we didn't rock the boat until one summer when they decided to beautify the neighborhood by planting new trees. The HOA contracted a company owned by the HOA president's son. Totally not sketchy, right? On the day of planting, we watched from the window. We saw the crew drop saplings still wrapped in their root bags directly onto the grass. No holes, no soil prep, just a bunch of tiny trees lying there like abandoned sticks. Those are all going to die, wife said flatly. She wasn't wrong. Something snapped in my wife. We were paying this HOA real money that we could use for daycare, babysitters, or even groceries, and they couldn't even manage to plant trees properly. Nope, enough was enough. We marched over to the HOA president's house, kids in tow, and demanded they fix it. Shockingly, they were thrilled someone actually cared. In their enthusiasm, they made a crucial mistake. They asked if I wanted to join the HOA board. Against my better judgment, I said yes. The trees were planted, half-heartedly, and most of them died anyway. But I had a bigger goal now, figuring out what the hell the HOA was actually doing. The next meeting was a joke. 5 people sat around a table, none of whom paid HOA dues. They'd been funneling contracts to family members who did the bare minimum, if that. Their books were a mess and their services were non-existent. I dug into their records with my wife, spending evenings poring over every receipt and document. It became glaringly obvious the HOA wasn't doing a damn thing for the community. The HOA had no legitimate claim to our neighborhood. Their official zone was a completely different development. They'd been collecting money from us under false pretenses, and most of it was lining their pockets. Their idea of improvements was planting dead trees and pretending to run snowplows that the city already managed. We'd had enough. We collected enough evidence and created pamphlets explaining everything. We went door to door handing them out, making sure they were in English and Spanish because a significant portion of our neighbors were Latino and Hispanic. Word spread quickly, people were furious, and rightfully so. Next, we hired a lawyer and an accountant, putting a dent in our savings. It was a gamble, but if it meant freeing the neighborhood from these scammers, it was worth every penny. With the help of a few fed-up neighbors, we rallied the community. People started showing up to meetings, questioning the HOA's authority, and demanding accountability. The day we rolled into court, it was like something out of a movie. I walked in with our lawyer, accountant, and a mountain of evidence. The HOA president looked rattled. We laid everything out, the fraudulent dues, the fake claims of service, and proof they weren't even supposed to be managing our neighborhood. The judge didn't need much convincing. The verdict, the HOA was dissolved, its members were slapped with fines, and a clear warning was issued. This neighborhood was off limits for any future HOA shenanigans. The neighborhood's been HOA-free for almost 2 decades now. No one has dared to try forming a new one. Occasionally, when I'm out mowing my lawn or chatting with neighbors, someone will bring up the great HOA takedown. It's become a bit of local legend. Looking back, I'm glad my wife spotted those doomed trees. Who knew those pathetic saplings would lead to exposing fraud, reclaiming our neighborhood, and teaching an HOA a lesson they won't forget? What I really love is how this story ends, not with grudges or unresolved drama, but with a neighborhood that's closer and freer. It's proof that sometimes standing up for what's right doesn't just fix a problem, it creates something better. You didn't just take down an HOA, you created a legacy. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.